Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us for another edition of Meet Manor. We try to bring you something with some of our individual agents that is out of the box, let's say. It's something other than your normal sit down for statistics or here's why I am so good, I want to have your listing, all these things that are fine and dandy, but I think you've been inundated with those things over the years. So we're coming up with an idea that we're going to introduce you to our agents and talk to them about their backgrounds, their history, their involvement in the industry, and how they are succeeding in an always changing and competing market. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce to you in a moment Kristina Bondy, one of our top 10 agents in the sales force. So stay tuned. We'll be with you shortly. Thanks again. Welcome back and thank you for joining us. It's our number 4 version of Meet Manor. Today it's my pleasure to introduce you to one of our most dynamic and top 10 salespeople, Kristina Bondy. Chris, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Hi.
Pleasure. Kristina joined us a few years ago now. It's been a few. When did you join? What
It's
year?
going to be 5 years.
Already?
In end of April.
Wow.
And I think I started early May with Manor.
Yeah, it's incredible. Already 5 years. It goes by so quickly. And I know that, and we'll talk about this, but you were in your first year Rookie of the Year, I believe, right?
Yes.
Very good. And in our company, it's hard to get Rookie of the Year. And if you do, it's amazing that every single person who got that award has gone on to great things, multi-million-dollar producers. So, and that's certainly the case with you as well. But Chris, tell us your background. First of all, I know that you have European blood. Were you born over there?
Yes, I was born in Novi Sad, Serbia. I moved to Canada when I was 8 years old.
Cool.
And lived in Windsor.
Wow. You came right to Windsor from Novi Sad.
Yes, because my aunt, my mom's sister, lived here.
Yep.
Or still lives here. And my dad was actually the driving force of that
Wow.
massive move for our family. And he also had some family here. My dad, his family resides in Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the family was here. So and I believe he came here when he was younger too.
Oh.
So I think, my mom did not want to move here. But,
Wow. It's a tough move, a
he
huge
wanted
move for a family.
a change for us. And
Was it driven by the auto industry by any chance that they would come to Windsor at that time?
no, I actually am not sure why my aunt and uncle moved.
Mm-hmm.
They moved in 86. But we moved because we had family in Windsor.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
You keep them together.
Yeah.
That's cool. And so I'm certain that you learned the language when you're up to 8 years old. You must speak Serbian, right?
Well, funny thing, when I came to Canada, I skipped a grade because their schooling system is a little different there. So I went from grade 1 to grade 3 here.
Oh, wow.
And I only knew how to say hi and bye, happy birthday, and I knew how to count from 1 to 10.
Oh, that's cute.
And that was it.
And so look
Everything
at you now.
else I learned.
Oh my God.
It took me about a year to learn English.
Were the kids welcoming
No.
back then, or were they teasing?
It was a mix. I did get bullied, unfortunately.
Oh,
But there was also a group of friends that embraced, we were all, different in a way. So,
yeah.
and my
Howdy.
brother, I had my brother too, who's a year younger than me. So it
So
was
you
like
guys
we would
hung
like
out.
hold hands at recess. We were such
Oh.
outsiders, but
Oh, that's so cute.
it didn't last very long.
Yeah.
So
Good for you. So you speak Serbian?
I'm fluent in Slovak.
Mm-hmm.
That's the language that we spoke. Even though I was born in Serbia, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
Sometimes explaining, I am not Serbian, I'm
Right.
Slovak,
Yeah.
but I was just born in Serbia. We had a town that we lived in that had like a Slovak community,
Yeah.
so they allowed them to keep the language for schools, businesses. Everybody in that town spoke Slovak.
That's very
So,
cool.
and then just because Serbian is the language
Yeah.
in Serbia, they, and my dad's family being Croatian, Serbian, very similar. You absorb it like a sponge when you're young, right? So,
Absolutely. So do you speak Croatian and Serbian?
I would say it's like a
Same sort of thing.
dialect
Yeah.
type thing,
Yeah.
kind of like different. They pronounce things a little differently. I don't want to
That's
say
neat.
it's the same because they
Yeah.
will tell me
Oh,
it's
they'll
not.
be upset.
But
yeah. But
it
yeah,
is similar.
Dialects.
So not as great. Like I can get by. I'm not comfortable. I get kind of shy if I have to
Yeah.
speak Serbian, but I understand everything.
Good for you. And of course, Slovak, you're fluent.
And yes, I speak
That's
that every
awesome.
day. Still.
So this is an interesting twist, and I know you know this, but here's how the world works, ladies and gentlemen. Our owner, Steve Mustak, who has been he opened 40 years ago, and we'll talk again about that in a bit. He was born and raised in Novi Sad, same exact town.
And he's also Slovak.
Yeah.
He's not Serbian.
Can you imagine this? Yeah. Imagine.
Yeah.
That's crazy, the coincidence. No wonder you ended up here. It's fate. It's kismet.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it when I heard this originally.
Did they know each other?
No, they didn't know each other until,
They just
No.
moved to the same place
Yeah.
and ended up in the same area?
yeah, same exact. Well, look at this.
There's a huge Serbian Slovak community in
Yes,
Windsor.
true. But you wouldn't have known to come to Manor Realty way
no.
back then. I mean, it's just an amazing coincidence.
Yeah,
really
the
is.
reason I came to Manor was actually Naomi.
Yeah,
my
that's
best
right.
friend, so-
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it
your
just
best
so
friend. and
happened.
she's
that
Slovak
Steve-
as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And it so happens that Steve is the owner, and he's also, it's just meant to be. And I think knowing you now like I do, you have his same work ethic. Really hard worker, full of integrity and honesty. It's great to see, and that must be a Slovak trait. No, it's your trait anyway.
Thank you.
So let's go back then back to the very beginning. So born and raised in Novi Sad, 8 years old, you come to Canada on a huge family move. I can't even imagine it. You had to leave your friends. Your mom had to do the same, and your brother. And you start to learn the language at a young age. And what a job you did. What prepped you? What type of schooling did you do? Were you in like a business module for school or just a general? How did you, after school, what did you end up doing for the short term before you came on board to Manor?
Which time?
Let's go back the first time.
So I came to Manor right away.
Okay.
Bill needed
Right
an
after
assistant.
school?
Yes, Bill needed an assistant.
Bill Gerard.
Bill Gerard, the late Bill Gerard.
Yeah,
who
one
we
of our
loudly
owners.
miss,
Yeah,
needed an assistant. Naomi already worked here
yeah.
as a secretary, and
So your
I
best
joined
friend got
in
you in
2004.
2004. So that is Manor 1.0, let's call it.
Yes.
2004 working, and Bill Gerard being the, partner at the time and one of the top salespeople in the city. That would have been quite a learning curve for you. I'm sure you learned a lot from him.
Yes.
Yeah,
The early days of Manor were so great.
yeah,
I mean, you don't know it at the time. You take a lot of experiences for granted in the moment, and until they become a memory, do you realize that, wow, like those were
they were fun
some
days, eh?
good days.
Well, yeah, work hard and play hard,
Yeah.
you know?
Though we had a lot of great times, I learned a lot, met a lot of great people. I got to a point where I needed a little bit more structure. I needed better pay, just
Yeah.
something
It's something
different.
to better yourself rather than just an assistant to a realtor.
Yeah, and I was young, so you're not always very smart with your spending. So being considered self-employed,
Yeah,
I had
you're up and down.
okay, now I have to pay all these taxes and
Yeah, right. Exactly.
and
You're not
I'm
saving for
getting
the.
I don't have benefits. I'm getting paid. He used me as a write-off, which is great for him,
Yeah.
but I needed something different, something more.
Yep. For sure.
Possible pension, something.
Yeah.
So I looked elsewhere and I switched careers completely. I found myself in a tool and mold industry
Cool.
doing inside sales for a company, and I stayed there for 11 years.
Wow. Now you went there in 2010
Yes.
till 2021.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is, I'm glad you mentioned that, because this is what I wanted to get to. Part of your structuring and part of your training, let's call it, was with Bill for those 6 years, let's say. And then you went into a whole different industry, but still in sales, inside sales. And I know you're selling molds and tools and things, but it's still sales.
We worked for a distributor. So it was a shop that had a manufacturing side to it as well, but I was more on the distribution side. Learned so much from that company, things that I still utilize today.
Good.
With the way I email clients, the way I save my files on my computer. Like, I've learned so much. I would never say that, I regret making that change. I think at the time that was what was best for me, and it led me to a whole different part of my life. Like, it's where I met my husband and met a lot of different people,
That's
and
great.
Bill always was like, get licensed. And I mean, how old was I? 21, 22?
Tough to buy a house from
I mean, I
someone
wish
who's
I
21.
could. Now looking back, I'm like, okay, if I had started real estate when I was 23, okay, sure, but
Maybe. You never know. You can never
it wasn't
regret anything,
It
right?
wasn't for me at the time,
Yeah.
so
Well, you needed that extra bit of training, and the inside sales seemed to do it, because in 2021, I wish I had a trumpeter, da, 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 you called me and said, hey, I'm looking to make another career move,
yeah.
and the rest is history. You came on board in, was it late 21?
It was late April, I think. I think I called you in maybe March or April. I was just finishing things up.
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted to come to Manor. Did I interview other agencies, brokerages? Yes, I did. Because I wanted to be 100% sure that I wasn't just going to Manor because I'm familiar there and everyone I know is still there.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks to the brokerage too. All the people that worked at Manor as agents, even secretaries, when I left, are still here to this day.
Great. It's low turnover, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. A
I
lot of
also-
agencies have a lot of turnover, right?
yeah, and I loved the environment that Manor provides, the camaraderie between all the agents.
Yeah.
It's a business and it's a place of work, but it's also a fun place to
Yeah.
work. And
Yeah.
when I first left Manor, I think that was the biggest shock to my system, was the difference in environment.
They didn't have that familial type of feel.
No. I came from a place, Manor, where you had time to sit down and chat and, how's your day?
Yeah.
Let's go for lunch.
Yeah.
And it was just so rigid when I first started there that I second guessed my decision.
I see.
Like, did I make the right choice? But I toughed it out.
Yeah.
The environment there did change a little bit after, but towards the end, it just wasn't where I think I could have grown any further. I think I hit a ceiling, and
Yeah. And, even like just before we started the tape rolling today, we're all having a couple of laughs and teasing each other. Terrence, of course, with his huge muscles and all that business. That's another story. But anyway, it's a great familial feeling here. And we do have each other's backs. We always do. We always did, and we always will, I think. But yeah, that's great. And anyway, so back in 21, the phone rang. You came back on board. So now it's Manor 2.0. And, you hit the ground running because that first year you were our Roy, we call it, Rookie of the Year. It's amazing. How did you do that? Was it just your combined sales training from over there, or was it you're just determined like heck to make a go of this thing? And
well, of course, determination, number one. I think I joined the brokerage at a really weird time in real estate, right? We're right in the middle of lockdowns and, couldn't do open houses and things, so much has changed in the 11 years that I've been gone that,
sure.
I'm like, okay, so we don't have this anymore and we use this system now. And so I was really determined to make something of myself, especially since I was used to a steady paycheck. And this was very different for me.
It's a big jump.
It didn't happen immediately, of course. And I still think it's like that with me even now. You'll go months, okay, it's slow, you worry, you panic a little bit, okay, and then it just all of a sudden
things start to happen
all at once. Mid
true.
to later on. So I think that's what happened, and I was contemplating possibly getting another job. Like, do I need a part-time job?
Oh my God.
But I realized that if I don't give real estate 100%, then I'm not going to get 100%.
Yeah.
So I decided to put my all into it. And
good for you. And you're reaping the benefits.
And I had a lot of awesome agents in this office who helped me.
That's good.
And
a little bit of help, little mentorship.
Lots of mentorship.
Good. That's what we pride ourselves on, as you know. And isn't it cool that now that you've been in it for so long, since 21 to now you're the one starting to give back some mentorship to the new ones that are coming on board. I find that really great, really cool. Everything comes full circle, eventually. But back to the start in 2021, and people will remember it's not that long ago that we're right in the middle of COVID. Now, the good part of this is that the market, although at first during the 2020 part of COVID, when it first happened, people were all in a panic, and things shut right down. But come into 2021 and things started not to loosen up right away, but the market became very hot. Rates were down to, I think we just discussed this last podcast, just under 2%, I think was the lowest rate. And so at that point, people were starting to buy and prices were going up, but purchasers were still coming out of the woodworks. And weren't they coming in from out of town at that time too?
A lot of Toronto buyers.
Talk to us about all of that and the boom that started to happen, Chris.
Well, I think 2021 was the year that, I know that it started, I believe in 2019 before I was licensed. So I wasn't really paying attention to all of that. But I know that in 2021, there was a lot of agents and it was a lot of order taking. Yeah. You couldn't put any conditions. You couldn't, if if you didn't go a certain amount over asking, you know, you were going right to the bottom of that pile. So you had to be aggressive. You were picking up buyers, but you also had to be careful because a lot of them were out of town, and you know, it was crazy. Like that's the only way I can kind of describe the market. Sure, interest rates were low. A lot of people were buying, but then mid 2022, it's sort of all stopped. Buyers disappeared. I remember clear as day, I had a listing that I just put up in Lake Shores, beautiful raised ranch with an in-ground pool, like gorgeous house, you know, thinking we could get close to $1 million. And sure, months before, the data supported that number. You know, that wasn't, they weren't asking some astronomical price that, you know, because, you know, sellers, every person wants top dollar for their house.
Sure.
But it just...
It flipped.
It flipped, and it was on the market for a month, maybe 2 months before it actually sold. And I remember my clients panicking, saying what happened.
Yeah.
Nobody was calling all of a sudden. Nobody was showing up to the open house.
Yeah.
And
it's really crazy. You know,
interest rates went up and the buyers disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
but isn't it weird? Because when you first were talking about prices going, or of course you're talking about multiple offers.
Yes.
And at that time in 2021, you'll remember the top dollar in the history of Windsor for residential homes was in July. The average price was $740,000 for just the average price of a home in Windsor. And that was your market when you started.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it went from multiple offers on everything, right, to no offers on anything in the course of a year, say. And you're right, the whole valuation flipped around. So what you had 6 months earlier in terms of her value certainly wasn't the same value in 6 months later, was it?
No.
So you had to go back to the well and do all the calculations over. And
I find that when that happened, that big change in 2022 happened, I want to say, because I don't know for sure, so I don't want to, but I believe that a lot of agents left the business.
Oh, yeah.
Because now you had to sell. You had to use your real estate skills to try and get clients, buyers, sellers.
Absolutely.
You were no longer taking orders. You weren't just showing up and somebody, you know, just say, hey, I want to buy this house, no conditions, and then you just present it, you know? So I think that's where the good realtors who are in it for the right reasons, who want to help people, really shine.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. The word is shine.
Yeah.
And you're right. And I mentioned this on my notes because once everybody left the business, all those that were coming from all over the place, they left, and now it was really great for the agents that stayed because now you were able to show your real skills, your real sales skills. And it's not for the faint of heart, but you did it. And those of us that had sales technique and sales history were able to survive. And what we'll do is, on the flip side, we're going to talk more with Kristina. And I want to ask you, Chris, about the technique itself and what you did from your home office and behind the scenes. What were your secrets in success during that flip and that time period? So we'll get into that as soon as we come back. Thank you very much, folks. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us again. We're back with Kristina Bondy from Manor Realty, one of our top 10 agents. And I hope you saw the first segment because it started to show the progression of how a top salesperson is formed. And Kristina, you are that, and we're very proud of you and proud of your success. And we left off with you during the 2022, what we would call the flip, right? From when it went from a crazy, everything was multiple offers, to all of a sudden the buyers dried up, and now what are we going to do, because the market is readjusting itself. So the whole new set of rules became into play. So I want to ask you about your prep, your service. How did you survive 2022, and going forward, every single year you are in the top 10 of a company that has a lot of seasoned veteran agents? How are you doing this?
Well, one point that does stand out is the follow-up. And the power of follow-up, and how it can, one little phone call or email, and how it might not happen that day, but how it transpire into something at a future date.
Yeah.
So I learned those techniques from my old job. Parts of things that I had to do was follow up on quotes, follow up with this company, and where's this, what's happening with this, and just like staying on top of it.
There was a lot of that, over there?
A lot of that. And I'm a pretty organized person to begin with, so I think that just came easy for me, and so I just started following up with a lot of potential buyers that maybe I met at an open house, or just my sphere of influence, like sending out.
That's a good point right there. Let me stop you there for a second. The sphere of influence, I think, is key, because when you left in 2010, sure, you had your sphere of influence as a younger lady and those that you met through Bill Gerard at the time. But when you came back in 2021, that sphere of influence probably quadrupled, if not more. And all those new people that you met from the tool and mold industry now are part of your sphere. So that's a whole different group that you are able to bring into Manor, to your sales book.
Yeah, and I had that. But funny enough, when I first started, they said your first client will be likely a friend or a family member, and that could not have been further from the truth.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was your first one or two clients?
Actually, well, my first sale, Maria helped me. She wanted to know if I wanted, or if I could help her with a buyer, and a new buyer, very green buyer. So me being a green agent, and
you'd run around with them and show them all.
That was my first sale.
Good for you.
And thanks to Maria.
That's awesome.
But later on, that did transpire. So that's what I mean. It doesn't happen right away.
Yeah.
And there's patience involved. And
I'm sure, especially with young buyers.
Yeah. So
but it's hard work that you're putting in. And one thing about you, and I'll say this in front of God and country, as they say, you are always willing to go the extra mile and work, whether it's with a seller or a buyer. I mean, buyers, especially young first-time buyers, they want to see everything, and it can be a challenge. But you work hard, and then you've been taught along the way how to filter that out, right? How to go from showing the buyer 20 houses in a day down to maybe 4 or 5. You have ways now that you've learned to filter that through, right? And I think that's one of your greatest traits, is the work ethic. I really do. It's admirable. And when you're green, you'd have to do that to start to earn your chops, as they say.
And so almost 5 years in, I'm still learning. I still have to call some of the agents. I call you a lot.
Yeah.
I need help with this. What do I do with this? But
you're not
over
alone, by
time, the way. I think it's important that you never stop learning.
Yeah.
You want to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you.
Yeah.
My old boss always said that I hire people that are smarter than me. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I always want to learn.
Absolutely.
So, and I like that. It stuck with me.
You know who was famous for that? President Ronald Reagan. He would always say that. I'm surrounding myself with brilliant people far smarter than I am. And he did. And it worked for him. And
Yeah.
it's working for you.
And over time, you kind of just learn, okay, I learned this from this person, this from this person.
Yeah.
And you learn to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, as a first time home, working with a first time home buyer, being that newer agent, you're going to run around and you're going to do all these things. And then you learn that, okay, no, I'm going to do things differently.
Yeah.
But you teach your buyers and your sellers, you know, you're the one that they hired. So
Yeah. They're looking to you
they're
for
looking
guidance.
to you for guidance.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to just take the lead. And
Absolutely.
that was a little scary for me at first, I think.
Tell me.
Just, you know, okay, yes, sales, but I'm being behind a desk. I'm behind a phone. I'm not in
Yeah.
front, you know,
Yeah.
showing tools and, you know, like some of our outside salespeople that I worked with.
Yeah.
This was a whole different thing.
Yeah. It can be intimidating, but let me say this. Number one, I say this every week. What am I going to say, Terrence? Knowledge is power. Right on. Right on. I say it every time, and the people out there know that. But knowledge is power. So what you're telling me, number one, is true about learning all the time. Number two is salesmanship doesn't matter about behind the desk, in front of the desk, what client it is, what product it is. Salesmanship is about relationships.
It is.
Right?
And I learned
And that's
that
where
through
you're
follow-up.
Right.
You follow up. It could just be, hey, I hope that you had a great weekend.
Yeah. Let me know if there's
anything else that you saw. And
Yeah.
I can count right away at the top of my head 5 different clients that I've done this with that a sale has transpired.
Awesome.
Or it's going to transpire. I have a few that are in the works, but they call you and they, you know, you build that rapport with them, and then they call you. They're not calling the listing agent. They're not calling somebody else going behind your back, you know.
That happens.
And that happens a lot in this
But
business.
you're trusted. The
Trust
word is trust, right?
Yes.
It's huge. And your work ethic is such with the follow-up and the customer service that you give that the trust comes automatically because the relationship is there. It speaks volumes, let me just say, of the success that you've had since 2021. Yes, you had a great first year as a rookie, but you had to maintain that in a changing and evolving market. Very difficult to do. And I think if anyone out there is looking for sales techniques, or if you're starting out in the sales business, I think this is probably a master class for them right now in terms of how to succeed. So very well done.
And answering the phone.
Yes.
That is.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And by the
We
way,
live in a world right now where the younger generation doesn't want to talk on the phone.
yeah,
Even some of people my age don't want to talk on the phone.
that's true.
They want to text, or, you know,
We talked about this before
they
too.
you call, it sends you to voicemail. You know, as a millennial, I don't leave voicemails unless it's for business.
Yeah. True.
So don't leave me a voicemail.
Yeah, I've learned
If-
that as an older
I'll
guy.
call you right back
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I don't answer.
Right on.
But I do try to answer my phone all the time,
Good.
because if you don't, they're just going to call somebody else. And open houses, things like show up, be present.
Yeah.
You never know who can come through that door that wants to work with you.
Yeah.
And
You know that you mentioned this to me a couple of years ago, and it's happened to me too, and it's a great thing. Someone comes through an open house. You don't know them from Adam, but you're with them and, you know, talking, chatting, showing them the house, representing that home well, and then they leave, they don't buy the house. But a week, a month, 6 months, a year later even, they call and say, Chris, this is John Doe. You won't remember me, but I met you at an open house on Victoria Boulevard 6 months ago, and we really liked how you handled that. We want you to list our house. I know that's happened to you. You've told me. And isn't that a great thing? So it shows even at an open house, you have to be on your game.
Yeah, that, and let's say, you know, a lot of people don't want to be bothered at open houses, and that's fair. You know, you don't want to be pushy. I don't like when I used to work in retail too when I was younger, and I did not like when people would approach me as soon as I walk into the store. What can I help you with? What are you looking for? Like,
I don't even know yet.
yet. But
Yeah.
I'm annoyed now, so I'm gonna leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want
It's true.
even people coming to an open house feeling that way. So you say your spiel, you introduce yourself, you give them a flyer, you're going to answer any questions they might have, but let them browse, you know? And then at the end, you can kind of tell, you learn to pick up on things, you know, who's interested and who's not.
Yeah. You get a
And
vibe.
You get a vibe, yeah.
Sure.
And sometimes they'll give you their contact information, and I always like to say, you know, if this house doesn't sell, or if you don't want to buy this house, you're looking for something else, or you're just interested to know the stats of what this house sells for, I'd be happy to tell you if I can have your email, or if you want to text me, and then I can provide that information for you.
Yeah.
Well, that's happened a few times where you know they come back and say, what did this house sell for? And you just start that conversation, and
It's great.
and then it just leads to something else. That's happened recently with me, and then they ended up purchasing something in South Windsor.
It's awesome.
So even though it wasn't in the subdivision, or even the style of house was totally different.
Yeah.
Like they looked at a semi from what I remember, and then they just bought a just like not a raised ranch. So they were looking at the raised ranch semi and ended up buying like a back split 4-level
Oh, wow.
in a totally different neighborhood in South Windsor.
So you never know.
So you never know. So a lot of these new buyers are just trying to figure out what they like and what they don't like.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and I know a
it's
lot of them
fantastic.
too feel bad, like, oh, you know, calling you, I want to see this place, this place, this place, this place. You let them do that. You say, you know what, you have to find through this process what you like and what you don't like. And the only way you're going to do that is by seeing different houses.
Yeah.
So it is my pleasure, my job to show you. So please don't, you know, feel bad. I've had a client say, I feel bad calling you again. I want to see something else. It's like, that's okay.
Yeah. It's your job.
That's what I do.
But you know what else you do is you listen. When you're out showing the house to the buyers, you're listening, because you're listening to what they're saying to each other and to you, the pros and the cons of the house that you're in. So as you now know, you're in your mind, you're clicking, you're filing things away. So as in your mind, you're now registering what they don't like about this house. So when you're researching now at the office, you know that
of
won't
course.
work. And this is listening, and it's
You have
tremendous.
to keep some data in your head about
Yeah.
each client. And sometimes I'll send you a listing, say, I want to see this house. But I'll say, okay, but you didn't want this and this, and this house has that.
Yeah.
So is it even worth
And they'll
going
say,
there? And they're like,
really?
oh, never mind.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
have to,
true.
what I like to do before every showing is try and gain as much information outside from what's in the listing.
Yeah. Will you
And
call the
provide them.
agent sometimes that's listed the house
Yeah,
and sort of
if they don't
debrief them?
provide extra documentation in the listing, then yes.
Good. Because then you're going there with the knowledge.
Because
So
you-
they're going to ask you stuff.
Yeah, you learn that it's very important to this client that they know the age of
Yeah.
the roof, furnace, windows.
Yeah. By the way, on that note, Chris, and you bring up a great point about the knowledge of a listing, the information from a listing. Now, and I know that you and I have done a couple of things over the years, partnered on a couple of deals when I'm out of town, for example. and you're a great person to leave business with.
Thank you.
But what we do on our listings, and what every agent I wish they would do, is first of all, we almost always do a pre-inspection report, right?
Yes.
And we'll pay, part of our services, we'll pay to have our guy come in and inspect the property so as we know exactly what we're dealing with, so we can tell the buyer what they're dealing with right up front.
Yeah.
The other thing, and I don't know if it was you or I, but I like the term salient information. We put it on the documents part of the listing, all of the, like you said, the roof, windows, approximate age, utilities for the year 2025 average, all these different things that aren't on a typical listing form. And all of a sudden now you're going in with all that information. You're the expert on these things now, rather than somebody who, I don't know, but I'll call the listing agent, right? How important is that to you with your buyer? It's got to be vitally important, right?
It's very important.
Yeah.
And as you work with that buyer, you're going to learn the things that are very important to them and what's going to make or break a deal.
Yeah.
So you want to get that in advance if it's not there, and make sure you have that information for them.
Doesn't it also give you that extra credibility in the eyes of your client that they're dealing with someone who is ultra professional, who goes the extra mile to get the information necessary to help the buyer with the most important purchase of their life? Credibility, right? Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden they go home and they're saying, wow, am I ever glad we're dealing with Kristina. She knows what she's doing, and that's very important, I think. It's very important. And you do it in spades. So congratulations for that, Chris.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this, Chris, because you've seen this now from 1.0 at Manor to Manor 2.0, the technology. I asked last time we were here, we talked about it a bit, but you being a younger agent, I'm a dinosaur. I'm one of the ones that roamed the earth millennia ago, right? But you're the younger generation, but you've seen it over from 2004 to 2022, 21. 2004, we still were dealing with the MLS books in print. Now we're dealing with everything online. We're dealing with Broker Bay and all these services that are all online, Bluetooth technology, AI coming in. How do you see that transforming the industry, and is it a good thing or a bad thing, Chris?
The technology is inevitable.
Yeah.
The way we're going, it's not going to stop. AI is scary, actually, for me. Like, I think that's even a younger than me generation type thing.
Yeah.
And, if you don't get on board with these things, you're going to fall behind. Mm-hmm. So change is scary, but you have to accept it. Yeah. Coming from when I was at Manor and having to write out listings, you had very, very basic email, and I don't even remember what system you guys used back then.
Oh,
but everything Bill did was handwritten.
Yeah.
And you guys had those boards where you would write the deals on the whiteboards, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the big whiteboards, sales boards, and everybody would follow everybody else's sales.
All the little index cards on the front desk and
Rolodexes.
The listings being put in to binders. It's just...
I guarantee you there are people watching this right now that don't know what a Rolodex is.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. You don't know. Yeah.
I don't even
See? How old are you, bro?
32 now?
32. I know.
Geez.
It's just, I don't know. It's a whole different world. But, even AI, it is a bit scary, but...
Well, you know what's scary about it is it's hard to differentiate now. It's getting so good what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
And so just really look,
Yeah.
I
called
do
a
your
place the other
research.
day and I'm having a great conversation with this person on the phone, and all of a sudden, it hit me after about a minute in, this was an AI person talking. I swear, I thought it was a real person. I really mean that. And it's scary. Well, look at these models online, for example, right? And they turn out being AI models, and the whole fashion industry is up in arms over it.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's very convenient to have everything at our fingertips.
yeah,
Mobile, you can do offers, everything. I go on vacation, I don't stop working. I bring my laptop.
yeah, that's true.
And I've actually done a few deals that way.
Yeah,
I sold the church
Yeah.
when I was in Jamaica.
that's right.
And but I wouldn't have it any other way, because they say if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's true. That's a great way
And
to
this
look at
doesn't
it.
feel like work. Sure, it's a job, but I love it, and I love my clients, and I love meeting new people and helping them. And
That's awesome.
it just, when you take pride in what you do, it's no big deal working.
Yeah.
If I have to answer a call, or if I have to, take an email or create an email, whatever, reply to an email while I'm away, that is no problem to me. So
Yeah. Good for you.
I do like that aspect of it, that,
There's the
technology
difference.
now, you can do that.
Oh, for sure.
But
For sure.
the AI thing it's still new, I think, to everybody, but it's just getting too good, where you really have to wonder, like, okay, is this real? What do I believe in anymore? Like, with what you see online.
Yeah. Even on Facebook, you're
And
flipping
I
through.
think they try to, like, scare you sometimes, and
Yeah.
you
I
can't
think-
give in to that.
Again, I think it's something we just need to be educated.
Yeah.
You're right, it's here. It's here for everybody. You hit on something that trumps technology, it trumps AI, it trumps anything else, is what you said, that you take pride in what you do, you love your clients, and you love your job. And I don't care what sales you're doing. I don't care what the product. If you've got those traits, you are going to be successful. I don't care what else happens. You love your job, you love your clients, you love what you do, you hit the nail right on the head. And that is absolutely fantastic. So there again, we have, this could be worth 2 or 3 college credits. You realize that, right? This is a master class, ladies and gentlemen, in sales and perseverance and hard work and ultimately success. So, Chris, I want to thank you so much, because we wanted to understand how you did it, how you're continuing to be successful, and we've gleaned a lot of great information from you today. And we're so happy to have you at Manor, and I know you love Manor too. Has it been good to you over the years?
Yes.
Yeah.
Manors, like I said, that's the idea of working for a brokerage, that supports you, helps you. I didn't want to interview anybody else. I wanted to come to Manor, but
You had to do your due diligence.
I had to, and
Yeah.
I'm glad I did, because whenever I interviewed, I'm like, yep, okay, I knew I didn't want to go there, but now I know for 100% and 10% sure that I don't. So there was no doubt in my mind that, I would go anywhere else.
That's so nice.
But yeah, it's a great place to work. The people are second to none, and
Well, and they have a great broker manager.
yes, we do.
No,
The
no.
best.
No, come on.
The only thing I wish that was different, and we can't help it, it's just the way the world changed over the last 6 years, is that we have more office presence.
Yes.
Everyone's so used to working from home, working on the go. When I was at Manor the first time, everybody was in the office,
Yeah,
all day.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
you'd go visit, and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, there's great camaraderie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss that too. Every office is pretty much the same
I
way
know.
at this point. But
And that's what I'm saying. It's the only thing I wish that that was different, but we can't help that because it's just what people became accustomed to.
The world changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world changed.
So I do hope that one day we can get back to that. I don't know if that's even possible. No, you're shaking your head. No.
Well,
no.
we'll do a lot of social events.
Not
I don't
happening?
know if it'll
Social
ever
events,
come
yeah.
back.
Social
but-
events, we have to do. So Manor
That's
1.0,
Yeah,
Manor Nights Out. You can edit that out where I double that up. Thursday nights
yeah,
were epic.
yeah. They were fun, and they'll
You guys
be
are
fun
partying?
again. Yeah,
Oh.
we go out as a group.
Thursday night
Oh,
didn't
that's
matter.
trouble, that's
Yeah,
trouble.
that is
Didn't
trouble.
matter if it
Yeah,
was
that's
snowing.
trouble.
No,
Yeah.
we were always out.
There was a lot of
And-
no-shows Friday morning, I tell you. But yeah, it's fun, and we'll bring that back for sure. We'll bring that
Yeah.
back for sure. And our friend
Did Bill
Maria
let you take
was-
a nap upstairs?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. I love it.
Yes, he did.
On Friday mornings.
Yes.
Oh,
He would put a mini fridge up there with,
Yeah.
you know,
with the
hair
appropriate
of a dog,
beverages
yeah.
and stuff. Good, yeah.
but that I think is important.
Yeah, and especially this year being our 40th anniversary,
Yeah.
we're going to be
We have
doing
to
a
do
lot of that.
something,
We're going
yeah.
to be out. We're going to be out in the public. You're going to see us. You're probably going to get sick of this face right here. But yeah, we'll be out in force throughout.
impossible,
Oh, thank you,
Can't
buddy.
get sick of that.
We have
Thank
to
you.
get
Thank
everybody
you.
on board.
Yes, we will.
Of course,
we will.
it's most fun when there's
Yeah, and we're going to do a
Lots
lot
of
of
people.
new charity events, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But at the right now, I really want to thank you, Chris. This has been a tremendous hour, and as I said to Terrence here a minute ago, a master class if you're in business at the University or St. Clair College. I know you've been taking notes. Thank you very much, Kristina. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Kristina Bondy, everyone. Before I sign off, I also want to touch on the fact that we are in our 40th year anniversary at Manor Realty, and we have we're almost finished developing our contest. It's called the Manor Anniversary Easter Hunt. And so we'll be coming at you through our different social media platforms shortly to talk to you about it. We're going to have you reviewing all of our listings, and then you're going to be able to get a clue and find the answer to that clue, and on a weekly basis win a great gift card. So we'll be in touch with that. Meanwhile, for Kristina Bondy, I'm Rob Agnew saying thanks again for meeting Manor. Have a great day.